Lady Bo Show in the studio with my brother from another mother, Dr. Alduan Tartt, Christian psychologist. What's up, man?
Man, it's been a long time, man.
It's been.
I'm excited.
COVID, man. COVID got us like all distant, right?
I know. I got clean. Man. I was ready to leave the house. Man.
You should have told me you was gonna clean up, man. I would have put on a little something different, man.
You know? You good to go, man. You good to go.
I'm comfortable. Hey, man, so we got a lot to discuss, and I really want to dig into it. But first of all, I want to make sure, man, that you're good, man. I'm looking at your pictures online, and the family looks good. The baby growing up, bruh.
Yeah.
She is amazing. Both of them are.
Yeah. They're keeping me busy, man. Keeping me busy. I'm ready for arranged marriage to go ahead and get them, married off, and then maybe I can enjoy some more sports.
Anyway, COVID, man, is a real issue, my brother. And I know for me and in my house, we're doing everything we can do to be safe. Here we got protocols. When we go out and about, I keep my mask on me. Sometimes I wear gloves. I'm always got hand sanitizer, and honestly, my hands keep the winter ash on them because I'm washing them all the time. But I know you, and in your practice, man, a lot of people are really going through. And I was going to ask you some of the main COVID issues that you're dealing with, that you're experiencing now.
I mean, one of the blessings of being a psychologist, you see different people. So I see EMT, firefighters, police, doctors, nurses, contact tracers, which is really interesting. So the people that go back and figure out how you got COVID that companies now employ. All right, Department of Mental Health, CDC. I have a number of those. So people in different walks in life, and I can just tell you, probably here in Atlanta, Georgia, 1 in 3 people either have COVID or already had COVID. That is not public knowledge, but when you start talking to people, 1 in 3. All right, so there was a group of people that just got sick before they knew it was COVID. And it's the sickest they ever been. They couldn't figure out what happened. So, and you saw that in schools at the very beginning. Schools were reporting a record number of absences before they started letting kids out. Of just kids, teachers were joking. I know I'm not going to have a full set of kids. All right, so that's one thing. And then you have people that are miseducated about how you get it. All right, and so they're continuing to spread it. So here's the first thing. Do you know how it's being spread right now that people don't know about?
You're about to mess me up, man. I feel like you're about to mess me up.
Probably so. It's comfort. So it's family gatherings. It's gathering with friends. All right. So what happens when they saw we're ready for after the Christmas surge, the New Year's surge, while schools are all out for the first 2 weeks. They know when you have friends, your family comes over, right? Family comes over, they wear a mask in, and then when you eat, guess what happens?
You gotta take the mask off.
You take the mask off. Guess what you don't do? You don't put it back on. You don't put it back on because you're comfortable around your friends. Katie, if we're cousins, you're not gonna give me COVID. I'm comfortable. I'm used to doing this. So we're having a conversation in our house, and I'm comfortable because you don't look like you have COVID, and I don't have any symptoms. And so we talk, and we share a meal. All right? But what you don't know is, Katie, I don't know that you've been out in these streets. You don't know that I've been out in these streets. I haven't been out in these streets. No, but I'm saying, but you might.
I don't play around with that, bro.
Right.
I really, the biggest argument my wife and I have is telling my son, sit your behind down. And no, you can't go. That's the biggest, one of the biggest arguments we have. She's real lenient.
Yeah.
He want to come in and be kissing all over her. I said, listen. Unless you want to be in the room quarantined with him, y'all got to pull that together. I don't know.
But there's different realities, right? To him, they don't see a lot of kids catching COVID and passing. Kids on Instagram, they out. Kids on TikTok, they out. They out. And if they had it, I didn't feel anything. You know what? And I'm fine. And they come home in their immaturity. I mean, they're just not thinking, And they say, what's up? Because I feel fine. But then you go see your mom. Your wife goes sees her mom. And then all of a sudden they don't feel well. Or back to that gathering. It's 7 people in the house. Well, one of them been going to Amazon every day. All right. The other one's been working in retail. The other one is a first responder. The other one is a nurse. All right. And they're not thinking. And then you might have one cousin that's out in the streets that goes to the clubs or is brunching with friends. What's wrong with brunching? All right. And we don't feel COVID symptoms. But if you start putting 10 people in a room, they say the chance of someone in that room getting COVID about 15%. About 15%.
With
And the
10
more
people?
that's why they limit gatherings to 10. It wasn't random. They're trying to work against the statistics. Like when you start talking about all those Republicans that got COVID at that super spreader event, they knew all they were doing is talking to people. We know we had as many people. We guaranteed super spreader event.
So you
we
already
know the numbers.
know
We already know numbers.
that mess that happened, that debacle that happened at the Capitol.
It's happening in almost every household where they're not wearing a
Brother.
mask. You come from New York, you come from Chicago, you come from L.A., you come from Macon, and we're all in the room, and we started wearing a mask, and then we dropped it, and now we're having conversations. We're talking to one another for more than 15 minutes, and then I talk to you, and then you talk to someone else, and then your wife goes to work, and she talks to her, her one or two coworkers, and then the nurse goes in, and that's how it happens. And then all of a sudden, one of us catches COVID, and they call everyone in contact, and then you realize multiple people have COVID and the people that they're around. And the average person does not think about that when they're having family and friends over.
I think about little stuff like when I get in the elevator, I'm like, I don't take it off when I'm in the elevator because I don't know who sneezed in
Right.
here. I don't know all that. But watch this. So the Capitol was invaded.
Right.
Do you know whether or not they sanitized that area that they were in before they got back in there?
I don't know if they had enough time to do it fully, but when I was looking at it, I was like,
God
that's
forbid.
a super spreader event. Now they might, and here's the thing, you can't COVID test at that point. At that point, COVID testing real time is not going to help you because you can get it tomorrow.
I'm saying, but wiping stuff down, though, you know?
I don't know if they had time. They said that the rioters went in there and smeared feces and everything else.
You
all
didn't.
Over. Yes,
No, they
did.
didn't.
That's fact.
No,
Yes,
they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Look it
Oh!
up. So you going
my
through.
God.
They tracking it with their boots. It is straight. So you're talking about all those people in the Capitol. Now, and then they go right back into the same chamber. We'll see what happens. But remember, all those senators, except when they spoke, and kind of had on masks.
Yeah, but they took
But
their
when they
mask.
took a mask off to speak for 15 minutes to get that 15 minutes of perspective on what's happening. So we're going to see.
Well, I mean, I don't think that we should live in fear of it. I mean, and I certainly don't live in fear. I mean, of course, I up my vitamins and I do my best to do right. But the main thing is to limit, the people that I'm around. though.
That's another myth. People who are fit are catching it. You ask doctors, vegans say we can't get it. Ask how many vegan meals that they're feeding people. All right? I mean, hey, I don't eat. I'm vegan. And they're coming into the hospital. It's just a myth. It's just something we say to make ourselves feel good. Freddie Freeman caught COVID badly. How many of the NBA players caught COVID? So you talking about the most fit? How many NFL players are out right now? You talking about the fittest of the fit catching COVID?
They don't take that Dr. CBC moss.
Well, people say that sea moss works.
That sea moss and that black seed oil, boy, they swear by that stuff. But I got it. I mean,
There's some doctors that swear by that. There are people I know who've had COVID that said sea moss was their saving grace.
Sea moss, black seed oil, and vitamin D.
Right, zinc, the doctors are talking about.
There you go.
Yeah, so those are the main, COVID issues is people being comfortable with one another in household settings. That's the most people are getting it. Household settings, conflict with how out there you should be with your son, your spouse. Your spouse is like, I'm not finna sit in this house for a total year. If I want to go shoot pool and it's open in Atlanta, I'm gonna go shoot billiards. I'm gonna go shoot darts. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna go to the gym. But then they come back, and in the gym they may or may not wear a mask because it's not enforced. And you see half the people. I'm not gonna say any names, but we all know probably the one or two top boot camp workout places where everyone goes. No mask. Super spreader. Super spread. There's a number of those gyms, and everyone in Atlanta goes to one of those 2 or 3 gyms. I'm just not going to say them. So what we know is that they're catching COVID, and they're not announcing it. They're not saying, they're just not going to the gym. And here's another myth. People think that when you catch COVID once, you can't catch it again. Absolutely, you can catch it again. New studies, you can catch it within 90 days. You talk to firefighter and police, average want to tell you I've had COVID twice. Second time I had it, worse. That's facts.
Oh, because Tiny Lister,
Okay.
he ended up getting COVID twice before he, died. And the second time,
So think about it. I already had it, so I can go out, right? I'm fine. It's like having a vaccine.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you can catch it again
Wow,
you can
man.
catch it. So it's just the misinformation, the lack of information that we have. I was, talking to someone earlier, and the doctor educated them on the fact that there's a new study out showing that people with COVID have blood clots. All right, they're dying of blood clots left and right. Where are these blood clots coming from? All right, it's attacking the kidneys and causing blood clots. Well, we see this when they're swollen. When you hear people talk about their symptoms, man, I'm swollen. My legs are hurting. I'm swollen. I'm gaining.
Blood clots.
That's blood clots. Well, guess what happens? Well, if you don't have aspirin, the doctor will tell you to take aspirin to start thinning the blood until they can get you into the hospital. Another thing people don't realize is that they're laying on their back. Guess what? So that the blood clot can travel all the way up to your lungs, and that's what's taking you out. So it starts in your legs. Katie, I'll share this. I had gallbladder surgery back in October. As soon as they let you have elective surgeries, brother, I was in there. All right, 'cause I need to make it happen. They made me wear the blood clot things on my leg, and I thought it was ridiculous.
Oh, you mean the socks?
The socks that come up, that pulse, right? Because you can't sleep with them on. I'm just gonna be honest. And every time you have to use the bathroom, take about 10 minutes, take those things off, and then you got to take a little pole to the bathroom. Oh. Yeah. So they're making you do that, and I was like, I don't. Why am I wearing this? They were like, people coming in there. Anytime you're laying still, you can get a blood clot. Anytime you're having surgery. So people don't realize it. And unfortunately, people are watching this and they're saying, that's what happened. That's how I lost my brother. It's how I lost my father. I lost him to a blood clot, and we did not know how to take preventative action. We did not know how to take emergency action until it was too late.
A lot of us have had some tremendous success in 2020. I mean, your businesses blew up. I mean, you just found you reset and you did well. But there's a guilt in talking about that because somebody's mama passed, the cousin or the loved one passed. So it's, the best of times and the worst of times scenario. But I've always said it like this: beside every problem, there's a possibility. Right. And you can choose to focus on one, but if you choose to focus on one, then you're missing out on the other one, which is right there. Right. So love the possibilities, but understand that the problems are there as well. And when we talk about it, we just got to be, considerate. There are marriages, man, that have been torn down tremendously because of this, because the freeway was to be able to get out of the house, travel. Right. I can deal with you for 4 days. 4 days and that's it. Right. Now when you got to stay home, the way you chew, it's really low. That's funny. That's real. You blink too loud. That's crazy stuff. That's real. I mean, marriages either got consistently better or they got worse. It's very few people that told you their marriage stayed neutral. Marriage doesn't really stay neutral anyway. Either you consistently getting better or you getting worse day by day. Okay. And so you had couples that were doing great, that saw the opportunity. It's like businesses, like, oh my, you had an online business? Oh, let's go for it. If you understand the stock market, the dip, that's great. That means all this cash I had, this is the payday that I was looking for the stock market to crash. People pray for that. They pray for that. More millionaires were made. Now, you've heard it. More millionaires were made with the stock market crash because people could buy low. If you bought Zoom low at 56, it was at $500 something 2 or 3 months later. Now it's settled in at $354. So people that understand the stock market, they were able to capitalize on that. And you're talking real clear about your Zoom. Distribute. It was only a limited amount of cash that I had to buy, but I did understand Zoom. I did understand Etsy. I did understand Match, Activision, gaming. You see where it's going if you understand it and you've been waiting on this. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not an expert, but people knew the same thing about crypto. They've been talking to you about Bitcoin forever. All right, and Bitcoin blew up last week. Ridiculous. People were like, "Oh yes," but they knew they were waiting on that, and so now they're waiting on the next drop to buy. When it drops, everyone's gonna be happy because then they can go back in and buy and let it come back up. So, the thing you were talking about earlier, though, Katie, is called survivor's remorse. So who am I to talk about? Man, I doubled my wealth. You know what? As a psychologist, my practice expanded even more during COVID because they opened it up to telemedicine. We have clients from all over the world now, all right? And the insurance is paid for it because they want you to go in. It doesn't matter because if you're in Macon and there's 3 psychologists, we want to open you up to go anywhere so you can get to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a social worker. You don't want to open up when someone's now got laid off. If you're in the hotel industry, you got laid off.
All right. No one's traveling. No one's doing business conferences. If you're working in the airport and you own a business in the airport, it used to be the thing to do. Now this is the last place you want a business.
Wow.
So it's hard to. Everyone's at a different point. And the same thing in marriage. Some people are thriving because we get to see each other. We get to be intimate all the time. Because on my lunch break, I can see you. You can see me. And then other times when people just like, I ain't like you before. And now I have to see you all day. I can't go to the store. We have to act like we're cool.
Yeah.
All right? And then think about it. Suppose you have a small house. And we both have to work. I have to work and hear you in the background all day.
Wow.
No break.
Yeah.
I had a couple. They set up something outside. They live in Texas. And they rotate doing the office outside. Just because I need time not to see you. So when you're in the office, act like you're gone. So set the office up outside. There are a lot of people that invested in outside. I think you did. I saw it. Outside. And they stay out there and they do their work and rotate so that we're not on top of each other. I need time to miss you.
Yeah, mine is leisure, man. I just, honestly, when I leave here, I give everything, bro. I give everything I have when I'm here and I'm working to, whatever I do. When I go home, man, it's, some communion, all right? Communion, and, a cigar of choice. And I'm out there sometime, man, till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, man.
You need time to decompress.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I didn't say, though, KD? You know what I didn't say?
What?
You know what's really stressing marriages?
What?
Online school. So I'm working, but I'm not working. I have to sit up there and make sure a 7-year-old is online. I have to make sure that a 14-year-old, where the schools don't require your camera to be on because they don't want you to be embarrassed by your background. I'm telling you this policy.
When did that happen?
That happened with almost all school systems where you don't have to turn your camera on. You can be there. So think about it, Katie. When you were 14 years old and you don't have to have your camera on, and are you really going to be present?
Heck no.
No, so kids are playing video games. Kids are watching Netflix. Hey, Marco, are you there? Yeah. What were you saying? But then the camera's not on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 6 or 7-year-old? Camera's not on. And then the technology gap. What if you don't have a laptop? They were rationing out laptops because schools got hit with this last minute. And where is money supposed to come from to get every single kid a laptop? So when you start talking about having 3 kids in online learning,
that's a lot.
And you're supposed to be working a job where the average person told you that the job raised the level of expectations when they were online. They did not give them a break. They're like, we're trying to figure out who to let go. So productivity needs to be at a high. And so I'm supposed to compete and then make sure my 3 kids are online. Are you serious? And them not fail while one person is out and then they come in to the house. How's he failing if you're here all day?
Oh.
And you're like, I'm working all day. It'd be nice to go out, and then you coming back in and having to quarantine if you're a nurse. It's stress on top of stress on top of stress on top of stress.
How do you, before we pivot here, man, how do you suggest that home not be a war zone? Like, how do you suggest that when the person that does is outside of the house, because somebody got to stay at the house, especially if you got kids.
Right.
How do you suggest that, you look forward to coming home? You don't circle that block 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times when you come to the house.
It's rough. I'd like to give you a suggestion. I'm just saying it's rough right now because the person that's been online schooling and working all day, as soon as you walk in the house, they want the handoff.
Yes, man. Yes.
So when you coming in, ain't no decompress, sit outside, have communion, have a cigar.
Johnny,
what you gonna do?
You smoking a cigar today.
You cooking all 3 of these kids a meal. You working on homework. I'm gonna go leave. I'm gonna get a break because I don't even like being around these 3 kids all day.
Yeah, man.
I don't even like it. So that's the tough part.
I think it's also tough to admit that I love you, but I don't really like you. I don't really want to do this.
Right.
You understand? I gave my body for 9 months to you. You're ungrateful, especially the teenagers. Ooh, I can't say this story on this, but brother, let me tell you. Oh, it's like, wait. Your oldest is
14.
But you're a dad, so you get it a little bit. Mm-hmm. You get a little bit. Mom really gets it, but you get it a little bit.
Oh, right. There's beef.
Sons,
2 women.
Sons, man. They just, I think it's a rite of passage to some degree, to where they just want to see if they have what it takes. Because my son will tell me, my 18-year-old, he'll tell me, "Well, I can't wait until I get old enough to beat you up, Dad." And I get quiet. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I say practice now. Come on, come
Go for what you know.
Yeah, come see what you're working with now.
Right.
But I got off the point, but it's just to be honest enough to say I'm in this space where I don't like my kids.
Right.
I don't like my husband. I don't like my spouse, my wife. I just don't like me right now.
That's
a tough place to be.
I don't like my life is probably how it starts. I don't like what this is, but I have to suck it up and then suck it up with a bigger straw. Oh, the vaccine rolling out slow? I'm going to have to suck it up with a bigger straw. Oh, the rates have quadrupled since last time we did this because people don't want to shelter in. And they're saying that the rest of us won't be vaccinated until maybe the summer. Maybe. All right, and people are not taking it, so that there goes the herd immunity of 75% of us taking it. So you're telling me this is now, I don't like my life. I don't like working from home. I don't like being my kid's classroom teacher only because, how did I get this job? Because I'm the one that can work from home, and you're the one that has to work in the office. This is an opposite gender role if I'm a man than what I want. I don't want to do this. You're supposed to be teaching them. Right. I don't care about any of this stuff. I don't like being Mr. Mom. I don't like working from home. I don't like you coming in and us beefing. I don't like any of this.
How do you suck it up then, brother? You say just suck it up, but how do you do that?
There has to be a release. People have to find a release, and people have found that. So couples are like, listen, we going on vacation because what's going to kill us? Each other in this house or COVID. I can go wear my mask and sit on the beach and we don't talk to anyone and order meals to the room. I can travel. How many people do you see in a different country? I can go to Jamaica to where they had this thing managed. Obviously. I can go to St. Lucia if I had the money where they have this thing managed. We can get away from this. I can work remotely. If I'm uber rich, I can work anywhere in the world. And they see that. A lot of people have moved into these cabins. They talk about these small towns that people have moved to because they can work in cabins. They can work in Helen. They can work wherever they want to work. And so they're able to get away. Now, everyone doesn't have that. What's the opposite? Let's just take if you don't have the means, right? And you have 8 people in the same house and it's 3 bedrooms and you're on top of each other and all of them are in school. Everyone's working on the computer, complete and utter chaos. I can't work because I can hear y'all in the background. So-and-so is failing because he's not logging in. Someone's in the back, communing with different substance because, mama says let them go because they're homeless. Can't be homeless right now, all right? And so we're on top of each other. And we're hanging out and we're spreading COVID.
And with 8 kids in the house, bruh, you can't, you might need to get them frustrations out in the midnight hour, but you can't be too loud.
Right.
Because them, no, can't let the kids hear.
What about when your husband went out to shoot pool and he comes back and wants to be with you? And she's like, no, you said you wanted to go out? Go sleep on the couch. Go wear a mask. You're not finna kill me because I'm taking care. I'm telling you, the compound. Because I take care of mom twice a week. We rotate. Yeah. I can't take that chance. Yeah. And I get you need to go blow off steam, shoot pool. You need to go blow off steam and go to the gym. All right, but I don't know whether you've been wearing a mask.
Oh, you spot on. You
so you come in, don't think you finna sleep with me. You finna sleep right there on the couch.
Okay, so
you on quarantine.
So the people that are there, then we're gonna pivot after this. I'm on the couch now. And you got thousands of people watching this on the couch right now. Doc, what are we supposed to do? Because you just literally prophesied my life. That's what they're saying. What I'm supposed to do.
All right, 1, here's what you do. Get the rapid COVID testing. You can get rapid COVID testing almost anywhere if you make an appointment. Listen, we've had COVID testing almost 10 times. Oldest daughter plays volleyball. All right. Right. So we made that decision because she was bored. At first we said no. Now she's sitting around. We're going to let you do something if y'all all mask up. Guess what? We get COVID tested almost twice a week. Kids that went back, I'm just being honest, to private school, they got saliva tested. Like the Westminsters, the Woodwards, the Padeas. I promise you, every last one of them. All right. Woodward had to sit home 20-some kids before the break for COVID because they came down with COVID testing. So they said to come back after these family gatherings, get COVID tested. So if you're on the couch, get rapid COVID testing. So when you come back, you get your results in 30 minutes. You can say, here are my results. Now, granted, that's not foolproof. All right, it's better because you can get it on Tuesday and then show up on Thursday, but you got tested on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's something. When you go out, mask up. Consider other people. Now, and you might go to the gym and see everyone not wearing a mask and be like, okay, we're social distance. No, mask up. Mask up so you can go back. Go back. There's even 24/7. You can get 24/7 COVID testing. It costs $169. Costs $100. They're making money hand over foot. But what we know, unfortunately, here in Georgia, you can't get a COVID test just when you want one. It's going to be a 1 or 2 day wait.
Oh, still 1 or 2 day wait.
Right, still a 1-2 day wait. So if you need to know now, you got contacted today that someone at your job has COVID. We got contacted the other day. Someone on the volleyball team came down. We had to go make it happen ASAP. Because otherwise, what happens? You come back in the house with me. All right? We see our parents once a week. All right? My wife's parents have a pre-existing condition.
You can't play with that, man.
All right, so what do we do? What do we do? So you have to go get COVID testing. So go get COVID testing or find a way for you to do something solo so you can still get out the house, go ride a bike, go work out by yourself. If you need to see friends, do it on Zoom. If y'all are going to get together, make sure that everyone goes. And that's why you see these celebrities still getting together. They have that NBA technology. All right, well, we can go ahead and saliva test right now.
Oh.
And we can get our results in 15 minutes and we can go on into this party. That's why you see the celebrities doing it. That's why they're off. They're not saying bump COVID. They're getting COVID tested on the spot.
Man, we got to have a plug, man. We got to have a little saliva test plug, bro.
This is the difference between the have and the have-nots.
We about to be some haves, whatever.
You can order it on Amazon for $110 and have your own home
One
saliva
time?
kit. $110 a pop.
Does it work?
A pop.
I don't know if it works. Does it work?
Put the saliva in there. You send it off to the lab at UPS. You get it back.
That ain't no 15 minutes, though.
No, it's not 15 minutes. They don't have that delivered.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
But the you can get on the spot. Look it up. You can get. Say you're having an event. They'll come to you and test everyone in 15 minutes. There are companies that'll come to you now. It's costing you. It's gonna cost thousands.
Yeah, you're right. If you cash rich, then you straight. Speaking of cash rich.
Okay.
Donald Trump. What's up with him, bro? Like, I've heard words like megalomaniac, sociopath, narcissist. Which one is he? Is he all of them? And what do they mean?
All right, so let's look at narcissism, okay? So we look at narcissism as someone who thinks too highly of themselves because they have a low self-opinion of themselves. Now, people think it's the opposite. Listen, if you're secure, you don't need to talk about yourself all the time. You can lay back. Katie, you're good at doing that. You don't need to be the star. I can alley-oop you. You could probably take the topic better than a lot of people, but I like to just set you up. I'm a point guard, all right? No, a narcissist needs to be the center of attention at all times, all right?
That third person thing that he does?
Kanye West mixed with bipolar. Okay, so even when he's buying Kim that gift, the bringing her father back in a hologram, all right, your dad said that I was the greatest thing that ever happened to you. I have to say that, and the reason I'm breaking it down is not to go after Kanye, to help you understand it. Is I need constant validation that I am great. I need everyone to say I'm great to feel good. I don't have the same level of self-esteem as everyone else. If you're not talking about me, something's wrong.
So that's not high self-esteem.
Trump. It's low self-esteem. So if we look at Greek mythology, there was Narcissus. All right, who was his girlfriend? Echo. All right, so Narcissus, I'm gonna break this down.
I'm nodding my head like I know, but I really don't know.
All right, so echo, you echo everything back that someone says to you. Okay, that's Greek mythology. So if you look at relationships, this is gonna disturb people. If you look at relationships with those who are narcissistic, they're married to someone who's an echo. Someone who thinks too highly of themselves is often in a relationship with someone who thinks too lowly of themselves. So I'm just gonna do whatever you say, or I'm not gonna say anything, or you're gonna be the star and I'm just gonna be the support. It's whatever you say. So I'm the helper and you're the help. So whatever you want, it's not about me. It's about you. And why do people do it? All right, because you give me a sense of safety and security, a lot of trauma. The way I made value as a child is I cleaned up. I did what mommy and dad said. I didn't run track. I watched all the rest of the kids because mama wanted to be out in the street. So I learned my feelings don't count. So guess how I have value? Be helpful. Be helpful to mom. That's how you can not get beaten. That's how you can keep the family together. Just be helpful. Erase yourself. So when I date and I see someone that clearly knows who they are and they give me my role and assignment because I don't really know what I want to do, that's a perfect dysfunctional match. So talk to any therapist and they'll tell you on the other side of a narcissist is someone that thinks too little of themselves. They don't have a voice. They don't speak up. They don't say anything. So that's narcissism. That's not Donald Trump.
That's crazy what you just did right there, bruh.
That's not Donald Trump.
Okay. That's
all right.
Crazy. Go ahead.
What does Melania do, though? So he has narcissistic traits. What is her agenda? To support Donald Trump. She's a perfect match. Donald Trump would never marry Michelle Obama. Because they'd be looking at each other like, if you think I want to support your agenda only 100% of the time,
Michelle
erase
would
myself,
punch him in the face.
You got to be out your mind.
Wow.
Absolutely not. That's not how it's gonna work. That's not how it's gonna work. But if you go in and you just show up and you smile and you wave and you let me do my part and you move out the way, that's narcissism. I'm the star and you're the support for the star.
Yeah, but what if they ever wake up? Can they ever wake up and be like, you know what, I really don't want to do this anymore?
And that's where you start seeing divorces. Because I thought if I kept being nice, I was gonna get my turn.
Oh.
I thought if I kept supporting you, it was gonna be about me too. I thought at some point me being nice, it's like credit card, that you would have realized I gave you $20,000 worth of credit. This is not real. I'm always doing this for you. But when is it my turn?
Wow.
And you see this year 10 of marriage. You see them say, you see a lot of athletes. Hey, I did that. Now that you're not an athlete anymore, it's my turn. You know who struggled with this is on record?
Who?
Ice-T and Coco. So it was Ice-T and Coco was Ice-T's girlfriend. Well, when Coco got that show, Coco blew up. Right? And so people were noticing Coco and they weren't necessarily recognizing Ice-T. Kimora Lee Simmons and Russell Simmons. No, when she got her brand, it was a different marriage. And they talk about, this is public knowledge. It used to be I'm daddy and your daughter. But now that I've grown up, I want more power. I want Michelle and Barack. I want Devon and Megan. I want Torrey Roberts and Sarah Jakes. I want balance. I don't always want to be the first lady sitting, never have anything to say. No identity other than your wife.
You know, I was watching, Giselle was talking about that on one of the episodes of the Housewives. Mm-hmm. Is it the Housewives? I think it's the Housewives. Right. One of them. Mm-hmm. And first of all, let me just say this. I wasn't watching it. My wife was watching it. Let me just throw that out there real quick. What we know what we're not going to do.
Right.
But I probably don't have the story right. But she was talking about how she kept being on the back seat.
Right.
You know, with Jamal.
Right.
Back seat.
Right.
And then now, when the marriage dissolved, she was able to be like how she wanted to be. I wonder how we put ourselves in those situations and we don't see ourselves, and what makes us wake up to see ourselves.
Well, the person has to speak up and say, you know what, this marriage doesn't work as well for me as it does for you. You have to have what's called necessary conflict. All right, necessary.
Say more.
There has to be necessary conflict. In order for me not to be erased, I have to let you know this is not working for me. Me always being at home with the kids while you go out, me always being your plus one. People introduce me as your husband, as your wife, not by my name. They don't know my name. This is corporate America. This is sports. This is celebrities. I always thought I was going to get a turn. I always thought it was going to be my turn, that this is your season, not our life. And so when you have necessary conflict, I'll give you a great example. Michelle Obama. Hey, Barack, I don't really like politics. I'll do this for you, but I don't like this at all. I'll do this for you. But when we get out this White House, guess what? It's all about me. I'm going to go on a book tour. You going to watch the girls. You going to stay out the limelight. We're going to be able to walk down the street with only a little bit of Secret Service. You're not going to run for office again. I'm gonna be the one that comes out with the books, and you're going to support me.
You have to
that was calculated. That was discussed. I'm first.
But you got to want your marriage enough to be able to make the decision to say, I'm gonna do something that I don't want to do. I'm gonna back up on something for the sake of the marriage that I don't want to do. Because typically, I'd be on 1,000, I'd be on 1,000,000,000. I'm out, because then you look at people like Bishop T.D. Jakes,
right,
and, Sarita. You see, Jakes is like, I don't know if Sarita's like that.
That relationship works for them. She's not interested, but that would not work for Torrey Roberts and Sarah Roberts Jakes. Right, that would not work. They're both pastors. That doesn't work for Steph Curry and Aisha Curry. I want to cook.
It don't work.
I want to have my
Keith
own
Bow
show.
and Ivy Bow. It don't work. Don't work, sir.
I want to be here's the thing as a man. It's an ego check.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, man, I'm cool going someplace and I'm not the star of this marriage.
Yeah.
All right. I go places with Mecca. Oh, you must be Mecca's husband. Like my name's Alduan. I am her husband. All right. But guess what Mecca does? When we go to church, you know how people treat you when you're in church? Hey, could you go do this? They put her to work. If I'm doing, you must be Dr. Tartt's wife. All right. You can't have it one way and not be cool on the other end. And couples now, this is the new thing, Katie. We'll go back to Donald if you want to.
No, that's kind of crazy though, bro. Because I'm sitting here
couples
thinking,
goals, right?
I don't think I've ever been like Ivy's husband. I mean, I know I'm her husband, but when we go out, who are you? I've like never experienced that. Like, are you the husband? Mm-hmm. I've never heard anybody say that. It's always been, wow.
So like let's just say she's the primary parent when it comes to school, all right? And she's up there, and then you be like, they'll associate you either with your son.
They know me.
All right, so they know you. So it depends. Maybe it's her dress shop, whatever. Maybe it's her work, her
they
job.
Know me
you
in
go
the dress.
in. Oh yeah, man, I hate that. When you go run some errands with me, but that's a whole nother. I've been set up. That's not gonna work again. All right, but I get it. But what I'm saying is that works for you guys.
Yeah.
But just say that both of you. The modern thing is couples goals. Power couple can't be a power couple if both of us not trying to handle our business. Right. So there's a difference between Aisha and a Devon and a Megan. A Devon Franklin and a Megan Good. He's the author, the producer. She's the movie star. There are times and there are people that don't know him. He goes and like they don't know him.
Yeah, I can see.
All
that.
right, and then there are times in which they go and he's preaching. Who's your wife? She's really pretty, really pretty. Man, she a movie star or something? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, what you been in? So they both have to be able to switch roles. Russell Wilson and Sierra. There are people that don't know who he is when they go on tour. Who are you? And then there are people that don't know her in the football world. They have to be cool with checking their egos. Sometimes I'm just his wife. Sometimes I'm just her husband. I'm not that guy. So you have to check your ego and realize what kind of marriage do we have. And all of them work. It's just being able to fit into what works.
Man, we talking, man. I got to get some.
All right, so back to Donald.
Bro.
I'm sorry, I digress.
Good.
But Donald, so narcissism. Yeah, there's a piece of him that's narcissistic.
But you don't think that's the main thing for him?
No.
Really? What's the main?
And
thing?
what was the second term you said?
Sociopath.
No, what was the other one?
Megalomaniac.
Okay, that's an addiction to power. You see that in corporate America. It's not about right or wrong. I just come in to assert my power. I'm addicted to power. Once I get power, I don't want to lose it. Listen, you don't want to lose control of this show. You don't want an external company to come in and tell you what to do. They could be right, Katie. It could be the right thing. You don't want to lose that. All right. Now, if you have that in excess, all you want is power. When you meet people and you know these people, they're just trying to assert dominance. They're just trying to let you know what's going on. They're not interested in having a relationship. They're just addicted to power and using it to their advantage. That is a piece of Donald, but that's not it. Really? Donald Trump is a straight up sociopath.
Okay, so you take me there.
Antisocial personality disorder. For those of you that want to look it up, look up the definition of antisocial personality disorder. All right. So any psychologist, these are the kids from age 15 to 24. You get a diagnosis of conduct disorder. This is gonna be very, very scary.
Yeah.
These are the kids that kill cats and have no feelings. These are the kids that get in fight and if they hurt someone, they say, "Why did you hurt him? Shouldn't have been talking all that smack." Well, when you were punching him 17 more times, he gave up. Why'd you keep punching him? because I got to let other people know, don't talk smack to me. Well, you worried about his mother? No, I'm not worried about his mother. You asking a lot of questions. He should have thought about that when I gave him a chance to shut his mouth, and he said no. So you got what's coming. All right. You see that when there's a lot of loss. If you look in neighborhoods where there's been a lot of deaths, anyone involved in a gang, they tell you just like that sometimes. You got to go. You got to go. You got to put in that work. It was just work. It's not personal.
Wait a minute. You were not born a sociopath. You become a sociopath.
There's the small percentage of people, small, very minute. There's a genetic link to it. All right. And what we know about Donald Trump's dad, sociopath.
Really?
Listen, if you go read Mary Trump's book, all right, written by his own niece, I think his niece, Mary Trump, go read it. All right.
The one they tried to block.
She breaks it down. She says that his dad, either you winning or you are winning. There's no, he raised him to, you're going to keep the Trump empire going. There's no feelings. There's no how you feel. Feelings are weak. So he's raised this way. If you look at the conflict between Donald and his brother Fred was dropped down. Donald was promoted because Donald was heartless. Donald was sent to military school as a youth because they couldn't do anything with him, even in his family. He had a disregard for rules. He tortured his brother. That's on record.
Ooh,
that's on record. So when I come, a sociopath is only interested in getting things done. I don't care about your feelings. I don't really get feelings. I hear they exist. I don't get them. I don't understand them. No one had any feelings for me. My dad said, get it done by any means necessary. That means if you have to cheat, if you have to steal, if you have to intimidate, you have to manipulate, do it. The only thing you can't do is fail. Failure is not an option. So you have to make it happen. This is how he was raised. He was given these fortunes. All right. He bankrupt 3 or 4 times. Anyone can inherit money. It's a myth that he's a self-made man. He inherited that money from the great grandfather. Everyone in the Trump family is rich. He's ruined it numerous times, but he's been coddled and put in these positions. So he's antisocial. So when people die of COVID, he said there's a lot of death. People die. You don't see any emotion. When have you ever seen any emotion other than anger?
Never.
Have you ever seen sympathy?
Never.
Have you ever seen empathy? Have you ever seen concern?
No, man.
No, all you see is power.
Wow.
So if I can use anyone, if I can use anyone to get my agenda done, I'm going to do that. So if I can take these Republicans, all right, they don't really rock with me, all right, but they need me. They need me to beat the Democrats because I can galvanize a base that's been ignored in white America. I can galvanize the Proud Boys who don't vote. I can galvanize the people that feel like they have been disenfranchised. Like we talk about black folks not voting. As white folks are like, why would I vote? They don't talk to me. Why would rich Republicans have anything to do with me? I'm forgotten about. So Donald Trump goes and talks to them. He goes talk to them. We're going to make America great again. We're going to, you know what? And I'm going to be straight up honest with you. You know how you used to be the owner? You used to be the manager in the factory. Now it's that black guy. Now it's that Jewish person. They got these degrees. They came in. That used to be your job. You used to be able to be promoted, and because you were white, you had it. But look at you. Now they have the engineering degrees. They went out and got affirmative action. They have all these government policies to come back and be your manager. Meanwhile, you stuck on the line for the rest of your life while they living it up. They living it up. Look at him driving the Cadillac. He's your manager. How you like that? That's middle America. That's what they talking about. And then they taking down your statues.
Wow, man.
All right, look at them making millions of dollars. Look at Jay-Z and Diddy and all these ball players and
people
business
he used to party
and
with.
Obama, right?
All of that.
And making money.
He put money behind Jesse Jackson's first two.
He did. Because it was good for him. He don't like Jesse Jackson. He don't like anyone.
Let me ask you this.
If it's good for me, I'm going to do it.
Do you think he's a racist?
I think he is a Donaldist. I know there's white supremacy in his family. He might not.
I don't.
What's convenient for me to have power? I'm interested in pushing my agenda.
Yes.
I'm not interested in white supremacy. I might get in trouble for this. The people that want to make America great again, they're real gullible. They're real gullible.
Well, no, you ain't gonna get in trouble for that.
All right, so what do they do in other countries? If I want to take the blame off of me as a leader, I just get the 2 or 3 populations to fight with one another. I make them the enemy. I make y'all fight against each other. So here's what I do. Listen, look what happened. Y'all don't like a black man being in charge. Y'all hate Obama being in charge. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make America great again where you can be in charge and a black man will never be over you. So I make Obama your issue, not the rich Republicans that don't care about you. I point to your enemy. I point him or her out and take them against. If you got any type of literature, what were they saying? The left. What's the left and what's the right?
The liberal left.
They're taking away your America. That's why you can't get a job. That's why you can't run for government and run anymore, because it's more of them than you. If you want a chance before you're extinct and you're irrelevant, if you want a chance to take America great again, all right, that's the conversation I have. If you're a patriot, all right, and let me speak to the Proud Boys. If this is your chance, you've been waiting for a minute to overthrow the government that you've been saying crooked, conspiracy theory. Where do I find you? I can find you on Facebook. I know this might be going too far, but it's real.
Did you see The Social Dilemma?
I did. So what it's where I was going. So if I don't want to go too far off it, but if Russia, how do they hack us? Everyone's like, Russia hacked us. Everyone understands that. How did they hack us? They hacked our social media so they can find the conspiracy theorists and keep feeding you. You saw in your feed, if you say anything about Trump, there was someone that commented in your feed that said something provocative on purpose. Trump's going to win whether you like it or not. You click on that link, what do you see? No pictures, no name that you can recognize. It's a bot. It's a robot. It's someone behind that stirring up
on
controversy.
That profile, yeah.
On purpose. I'm stirring it up. So guess what you see if you're a Proud Boy? Someone in there be like, look, before you know it, you're going to be answering to us. Let me show you what happened. Let me show you America then. Let me show you America now. You're going to be forgotten about. So that's what they're talking about. It's a revolution. That's what they're talking about. They were manipulated to come out and vote. So think about it. So Trump goes and he does a rally, right? He does a rally on the day that they're supposed to be confirming the vote because he can't accept losing. I don't lose. Either I win by any means necessary. So because I'm a sociopath, I don't think about people getting hurt. I don't think, it's wrong for my fellow congressmen and congresspeople that I work with to endanger them. But I need to stay out the way. All right? I need to hide. So I tell them. I go get Giuliani, also a sociopath, and says we're going to fight by combat. And I rile them up and I say we're going to walk. But I go get in my Secret Service car and I'm out of there. I go walk there, right? I have them walk there. I rile them up. I told them they're stealing your government from you. They stealing your government. And I've already have militia in the crowd. I already have the Proud Boys. I already have the disenfranchised. And I'm letting them pour gasoline on one another. And I'm creating a mob-like environment to try to go in and steal this vote. I used them. He doesn't care about them. The woman that got shot, did he lower the White House flag to half-mast to I love you? He did not do it. He does not have feelings.
The cop that got killed. Same thing, yeah.
Does not have feelings. That Army veteran that went in there, thought she was doing whatever she was doing and got shot, I don't think he reached out to the family. Now, I don't know that, but he doesn't have any feelings. He's antisocial, and that is what they did not. Well, you know what? I don't know if they didn't realize it or they thought that they could play it to their advantage as Republicans. And now that it backfired on them, and now Lindsey Graham, of all people, can't fly in the airport without being accosted. Mike Pence is being called a traitor. They were going in there. They had that noose out there for him.
Yes. Hang Mike Pence. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Hang Mike Pence.
So you got that base galvanized so that you can beat the Democrats.
Pendulum sure does swing,
all right, so they
brother.
could come out and vote because guess what? We winning now. We're winning. That's where Donald Trump was winning. That's why Hillary Clinton didn't anticipate this loss. Because I looked at the base. If they all vote, our base votes and their base votes, we going to win. And guess what? We had no idea record numbers of first-time voters, where'd they come from? They came from MAGA. And Trump galvanized them, and he used them to be in power. And we all know what he was gearing up for. He wanted to win again. The next thing that he was going from, KD, was what? Let's get rid of terms. Let's get rid of this whole 8-year thing. You can be a president. I'm going to change that law so I can stay in office forever.
I didn't know that.
That's where he was headed. He was already talking about it. He's already talking about pardoning himself. He's already pardoned his friends. He is antisocial. He has an antisocial personality disorder. If you go back and look at his childhood, he had conduct disorder. So this is someone that does not have empathy, does not have compassion. He does not care about the Republicans. He does not care about the Democrats. He cares about himself. That's why they voted, because they felt like this is the best decision for their family. But we start talking about the white evangelical church. Man, there's a lot of different issues in there. One, abortion is their main thing. Everything else doesn't matter. Their number one issue is abortion. He came in, that's your number one issue? That's all I need to say to get y'all on my side? Okay, I'm anti-abortion.
And I'm Christian.
All right, and well, I don't think they care. I don't think they believe. Well, you know what? There's this belief that he was the chosen one, that he was the one that was sent.
The Antichrist?
Now, don't see him as that. That he was sent. That this is the one that God sent to be able to reform. He's the non-politician. Now, what's underneath that? All right. So if I'm in the church, I'm still in these factories. If I'm in the church, I don't like what's happening. I'm private. I think Donald Trump said what a lot of people wanted to say, but it wasn't politically correct.
Should I become, or when I become, super wealthy, I just think that there is a part of your money that I think it's just the law of reciprocity, seeds, sowing and reaping. Some of that money belongs because the poor you will have with you always, right, because of their mindset. Right. Some of the money just got to go anyway.
Well, I'm talking to a Christian brother. I mean, what happened in the book of Amos with the minor prophet? And he went back, talked to Jeroboam II, saying, look, you rich, a.k.a. Donald Trump. You're a king that's rich.
For real, because you went to
rich.
Amos.
You're rich. You're rich. I'm telling you, we've forgotten about the poor. Look at where America is.
Yeah.
We've forgotten about the poor. We're so focused on making money. We're not focused on people being hungry. We're focused on trying to get it. We're trying to make millions. What do you see on Instagram? I'm trying to get to the money. We're not thinking about people being homeless. We're not thinking about Flint still doesn't have water. We've lost that compassion.
Ain't that crazy, bro?
We've lost that. We've just gotten to the point where our tolerance for certain things, our compassion is not there. We looked at verses with Gucci Mane and Jeezy and forgot that those are two of the most notorious gangsters in Atlanta. Yeah, they make music, but they are real gangsters. They didn't play gangster. They really were gangsters. And we sat up there and we were rocking to it. And we were dancing to it. We become numb to the violence.
I didn't like how they responded to Stacey Abrams when she first came on in the beginning.
Right.
It almost made me turn.
But there was a certain level of respect, and what they knew is that no one knows who Stacey Abrams is in the street. But if Gucci Mane and Jeezy tell you to vote, and we need to get Trump out of here, if I can make Trump the enemy, and not necessarily policies that Clinton put in place, I love Obama. Some that Obama put in place that weren't for you. If I can make Trump the enemy, I can make you go vote because you're tired of looking at him and you all right. So that played out well. But what I'm saying is that we've lost our soul. What does it profit a man to gain a whole? And we've lost our soul. And so what you see in the church is that was a great place for Donald Trump to exploit. Paula White is his girl. She was the one that tricked all the black pastors to come up there when they thought that she really had something to say, to get a photo op. That was her, because they believe in Paula White. She's on the phone. You're like, why is he there? Why is he there? Wow, everyone was looking. I'm going to say, how in the world did they get them there? They trusted Paula White. Well, Paula White, Trump like this. There was an article out today, all right? It talked about the easiest population to impress are evangelicals. They were saying easiest. So if I want to get the white evangelical vote, all right, I invite him, I put him on a yacht. This is public knowledge. Put him on a yacht, wine him and dine him. You know what? They are more impressed by that than you would think, than any other population. The church likes to be wine and dine. They like to feel special. And so I can get their vote by making their leaders feel like they're close to me, and I have a conversation and you have a seat at the table as an evangelical. You can sit down and go to the country club with me, whereas before you had no access to that. Wow. And all I need you to do is talk to your population, talk to your congregation, and get them on my side. And there's certain things. You can be my spiritual advisor. We can make sure that certain things funnel through the church. We can do rehabilitation. We can have contracts. We can have mental health fund. What is it that you want? What's the exchange? And so there's a lot of them that went behind it because they felt like it was in their best interest.
Number one, you went to Amos. That just was the blessing for me. Mm-hmm. But I thank you for stopping by, man, because you give a sense of understanding to this. But in closing, the main thing that we should focus on at this time, in your opinion, at this phase, COVID is rampant, changing of the guards politically.
Right.
How do we take the reins of our lives? Maybe one or two things. Take the reins of our lives and just not allow ourselves to become a victim.
You talked about the social dilemma. Everyone needs to watch the social dilemma to realize how they've been manipulated by social media, all right, and how certain things are spread. Why is this important? Because it's affecting what we know about the vaccine. People are saying they're not going to take the vaccine when people don't have the same feelings about the flu shot. Right, they'll take a flu shot, but then when it comes to the COVID vaccine, there's this myth, and you've seen the videos of whatever 3 or 4 videos you've seen, people clucking like chickens, the nurse that got it that says she got palsy. That happens with every vaccine. The numbers are like 0.000 and you respond in like 3 or 4 days and maybe a month, maybe 6 months, worst case scenario. So you see these things in your social media and you start allowing social media to impact your behavior. So that's one. So we need to go ahead and get the science on the vaccine. We need to get back to trusting scientists, not what you see in your social media from your favorite comedian or personality telling I'm not going to take it. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to understanding Donald Trump, go back and look at Antisocial Personality. Go back and read Mary Trump's book so that you can understand who he is and how he was created, and start looking at where this country is and how he was able to exploit a certain part of America that legitimately was ignored and no one came after, so that you understand what's going on. Number three, in your marriage, this is the perfect time for you to get marriage counseling. This is the perfect time for you to do whatever you need to do to deal with your legitimate issues, because the pressure's higher, the degree of difficulties is higher. People are going to lose their job. You're going to have to talk to one another and be on the same page with the kids. Number four, get COVID testing on a regular basis. Call up your governors, your mayors, your public health officials. There was a point in time when they used to do press conferences and let us know what to do. They used to let us know, hey, it's airborne, wear a mask, hey, don't touch. So we haven't seen that in months. So people don't know what to do. Demand, and that's going to happen with the CDC with the new director starting on the 20th. You're going to see that coming back because the average person doesn't know. But get educated.
Oh, good. Very good.
Yeah, get educated so that you know what to do and how it is spread. And then take care of yourself. This is the last thing we didn't even talk about. There's this thing called COVID fatigue, where people are tired of COVID. So guess what? I'm lonely. I'm sad. I'm by myself. I'm sitting in this house. I thought I could do it for 6 months. But you telling me to go on a year? I'm going to go to the club and meet someone. I'm going to go to the gym, even if it's risky, because I'd rather take my chances with COVID than be alone by myself for another month, looking at Instagram and everyone in Christmas be with their family, because their families are in town and their marriages. So use Zoom, use COVID test a couple of your friends to get together. You can still have COVID buddies where you come over, and if y'all COVID test, if y'all all are pretty, y'all sequester yourself, you quarantine, you don't go anywhere, I don't go anywhere, well, go ahead and get the testing, and then let's meet up on Friday. And that way we can be together, just the three of us, and we can have some companionship. So do that so that you don't take risky behavior just to see someone, just to get out, just to avoid cabin fever of being in the house, because you work from home, you eat meals from home all by yourself. That's a lot.
I just want to say, man, that you are you're bold with your stance. And you clearly have embraced the whole Christian part and the ministry part of your calling. And it's refreshing to watch, man. It's refreshing to watch. It's, I don't know, it's a different Alduan, and I'm here for it. And I believe that, the things that you will do moving forward as you scale, larger levels, et cetera, not only are you a force to be reckoned with on a one-on-one basis, but man, by the time we help you scale, brother, you see how I jumped in there real quick? I knew that was coming for, brother. The time we help you scale, man.
I appreciate that. Katie, I appreciate that. We go way back, man. And I've seen you walk in ministry forever. I've seen you walk in media and all outlets forever.
It's a long time.
Forever. I've seen you walk in that. So I appreciate your mentorship, man. I appreciate our friendship, our connection. I don't take it for granted. And I've always said you make it easy.
Oh, man.
You make it easy. I recognize you alley-ooping.
Alduan Tartt.
Right.
I didn't say it, but I got to say it. The long lost DeBarge brother
Here we go.
on the KD Bo Show.
It's the KD